So some of my YouTube is a little ridiculous, like I've been saying, but there is key information in it. But some of it, their tactics is they sit around bombarding me with telepathy all day, and I don't know what's going on, and I feel obligated to defend myself because sometimes if I don't defend myself, they'll pull some hustle, and their hustles involve trying to manipulate some truth somewhere that then leads to harm on me, whether illegal experiments on me or theft of IP, theft of property, etc. I'm not sure where they're doing this or what they're doing, but they they're running some covert computer realm, or they're in Dubai or something, and they peddle some narrative somewhere, some story, and keep trying to attach false claims to me. And so if I'm not present to defend myself, they'll attach false claims to me or some manipulation of truth. And then they peddle it to these morons armed with underground experiment rings, implantation weapons, satellite weapons, these mind melder shitbags who are like this telepathy army. And they'll peddle their misinformation to them to course crime and harm. So sometimes I feel obligated to defend myself, but because they control the telepathy and they control communications from audio to telepathy, I may not be present to, they may silence the audio or silence the telepathy so I'm not heard. So I respond on YouTube to some of their retarded debates so that I'm heard, and so no one tries to murder me or frame me or implant me or enroll me in a legal experiment or steal IP or whatever the hell else these weirdos are doing. Because I am a victim of an illegal gambling ring as well. And they orchestrate frames, they try to cause harm, they try to bet property away illegally that they don't own, or at least they claim. That's the vibe I'm getting because there's kids who think they own my property, own my computer, my data. I did get this device in my brain illegally somehow. It could have been involved with their illegal gambling ring and their covert frames and their quote shadow government. I don't know, but that could be a piece of it. So sometimes I'm forced to go on YouTube, don't pay attention to the nonsense. Sometimes they just sit there trying to antagonize me all day. So I throw out arguments, but I'm going to try to clean it up and get key information that's more relevant to their terrorist organization, their terrorist plot, their RICO, their hand tying tactics, etc. I post some of it on my in the video section, some type text that I type. But yeah, that's what that is. All that nonsense of me just flipping out. That's just me in debate with these shitbags who literally sit there bombarding me sometimes with just ridiculous nonsense all day. And then I feel obligated to defend myself, but then I know they control communication. So they'll silence audio, they'll silence the telepathy, they'll make the telepathy upload to their name or their friend's name because they are practicing New Age mind slavery as well. So part of that is harvesting the telepathy and directing my telepathy output to their name or one of these terrorists involved in their New Age mind slavery and data theft and IP theft and economic espionage theft ring. So that's a piece of their hustle. So when I'm not heard, so since I know they sometimes silence me or manipulate where my telepathy uploads to, I'll say it on Twitter. But if you see what's on my, or I'll say it on YouTube. But if you see what's on my YouTube, you'll understand the nature of some of the nonsense and ridiculous bullshit I sometimes dealing with these people. With their bombardment and how often they bombard me all day. Like I said, these people stalk me every second of the day. They wake me up in the morning. They even try to prevent me from sleeping sometimes, but they'll bombard me 12 to 17 hours a day, typically, all day long. This has gone for 5 years and 5 months. I've been counting. So, like I said, typically psychotic guys, they don't really remember the date the psychosis started, nor how long the duration of the hallucinations or whatever. I can assure you, these neural implants are real. Synthetic telepathy is real, and I can remember right around when it started. It was like late 2017, early 2018, and then they've been bothering me ever since. And the more I report to law enforcement, the angrier they get. The more they retaliate. The more they hack me. The more they damage my phones. Like they actually will kick me out of emails. I had to create 20 to 40 different emails because they actually would kick me out of emails. So I've got like 40 Gmail accounts because they'll lock me out of them. They'll pull hacks to where if I try to log in the first time, they'll say attempted too many times on the first try. They'll block text. Like in 2018, I have all these videos of me sending iMessages, and the blue line would move and then just stop, and I'd record it with a second phone. So I have all that. That was all in a Dropbox that I sent to the FBI. So they've been doing tactics like that. Um, so they've been actually blocking iMessages, text, blocking cell phone calls, um, literally taking over Gmails and kicking me out of them. I've been storing evidence of various hacks they've been putting on my computer, various images of hacks, documentation of stuff. There's weird hacks that happen when like for instance, try to contact the UN. Sometimes when I try to contact the UN, typically it's like two captcha. I'll sometimes have to click through 10 to 20 captcha. Sometimes I record the screen and log this evidence to show proof of hacking. And it's typically in retaliation to when I'm talking shit to these telepathy shitbags who try to bother me. So some of these telepathy shitbags also have hackers or are hackers, and they start bothering me when I don't comply with their demands. And I always just tell them, eat shit. They're terrorists. And then they get even more pissed when I write to law enforcement, try to kick me out of emails, or they do, or they'll start locking up my computer. So they got all sorts of hacks. So don't fall for their hustle or their tactics or any of their nonsense. Sometimes they're just pulling me into arguments. And because they put me in fear of my life and it's psychological torture, I feel obligated to defend myself and be heard somewhere. But you can also tell the nature of some of the nonsense I deal with. So don't fall for nonsense. It's just another one of their discrediting tactics. Because these guys, like I say, they try to discredit witnesses and discredit people who they're stealing from. They use these shitbags for legal, political, financial agendas and more. People have committed trillions in crimes on me, from this implantation jazz to over 10,000 accounts of assault with radiation weapons, implantation weapons, 2,000 accounts of sexual assault with their implantable devices in my genitals, highly illegal, unethical, inhumane human experimentation. They're practicing new age mind slavery. They're stealing intellectual property. I'm a victim of a RICO. As they try to say I'm some betting mule. And I was like, I never signed up for that. So they run bets around me illegally, sometimes argument bets, maybe without my permission. And I don't even pay attention sometimes. Sometimes I'm just pulled into a debate because I feel obligated to defend myself. And I'm not even participating, but I don't want to be slandered, nor do I want people to course crime on me. And also, when they lose bets, they try to commit crimes on me when they lose bets. So that's a piece of this. So these guys are some big time terrorists, big time mafia guys. They need to go to prison, and someone needs to get these guys in a prison where they belong. They're financing terrorism, organized crime, financing illegal weapons manufacturing and distribution. Some of these guys probably got some of these implantation and WMD satellites in space. So that's the type of jazz they're involved in. So someone needs to report these guys. But yeah, if you don't get bogged down in my nonsense. Like I said, my anger sometimes compromises my objectivity, and my YouTube's an example of it. But if you are being neuromodulated and people are committing neurophysiological torture, bombarding you with telepathy, invading your privacy, raping you of your rights as an American, you would start to understand what the hell I'm dealing with. But that's very key. So don't be tricked. I just was looking at my YouTube, I'm like, Jesus. But that's a key point. So they may try to pull it as use a discrediting technique. Look at his YouTube. Look how much he YouTubes, or look at the nonsense he says. But if you actually watch it and you know the prompt or the content of what I'm debating, it will make more sense to you. But see, the prompts are via telepathy. So that's what's going on. Key point. And then they create an environment where they create an environment with their prompts to where I feel obligated to defend myself. That's key, because I don't know the audience, I don't know the situation, the scenario, or the environment. So then you feel obligated. So that's one of their tactics too. So for all you know, nothing could be going on, or something is going on. And if you're not present to defend yourself, something bad could happen to you. So these guys are real life scumbags. I don't know who's running their system, or their new age court system they talk about, or their punishment system, or their gambling ring. But let me put it this way: they're not objective. They're outright criminals, thugs, murderers, and just pure evil. Praise Jesus. Yeah, they're not objective at all. They're not about justice. Let me put it that way. They're just these criminals running stuff, and their court system, or whatever the hell these people are doing, is just retarded. And these people just need to go to prison. They're running court systems and trying to course crimes on innocent people with manufactured evidence. They're letting people steal intellectual property and running intellectual property theft court cases, and letting people show up with proof they're intellectual property thieves, and they actually win an intellectual property theft court case. with proof they're an IP thief. So these guys are ridiculous. There's something illegal going on, whatever they're doing. Um, and well, that's the vibe I'm getting based off of what I'm told. That's what I'm told. What I believe, I don't know. But based off of what I'm told, that's what's going on. Uh, they could just be trying to make me look psychotic and bother me all day. That could be another piece of this, or it could be going on. Not sure. But the technology that I'm a victim of, 1000% real. My senses typically guide me pretty well, and I mean, I know what I see, I know what I hear. Barely, barely hear that. I know what I see, I know what I smell. So my senses have never led me in the wrong direction. Um, Now, what these guys tell me via telepathy, I'm not sure if it's true or not. I just know what they tell me. Key point. I've never seen anything. I have seen hacking, so I have been hacked, and I have been a victim of this tech. I feel it. I can hear them sometimes. Don't fall for their confirmation thwarting. They turn telepathy on and off as convenient, so that's key. Or they'll lie and say, "Oh, we removed the device. He's psychotic," but they didn't. So they love that hustle. They've been pulling that hustle for like 4 years and telling people they removed it. It's not there anymore, but it really is. So that's another one of their hustles. Maybe for a frame, data theft, as well as to just for political abuse of psychiatry. Say, "Oh, the device was removed. See, he's psychotic now," but it's not true. They didn't remove it because some of these people are dependent on me for info. They're dependent on me for my analysis, my ideas, random reasons. Um, but that's a key point. But yeah, don't fall for bullshit. Yeah, that's so those debates is a reflection of the psychological torture I'm a victim of with these shitbags using their telepathy and evidence of how often they are bombarding me with telepathy and radiation to my brain, basically, and evidence of the type of monsters I'm a victim of. Key point.